Hi everyone, my name is JPaul Hernandez and welcome to the JPaul Hernandez podcast. And for today, we're going to talk about stories of abundance. And I invited a friend of mine. His name is Jak Khan. Yes, the name sounds like not from here, but he's very much Filipino. And yeah, and wherever you're listening or receiving this message, this guy is really amazing. I've known him for a few years. He helped me. um, he was actually a business partner. But yeah, I mean, we just realized that we had different plans in life, and but has remained a friend. I miss going to their house and playing board games with them. Life has just become really busy, but yeah, after this, I realized I'm gonna visit you guys and just play with. And the last time I saw your son, who was still so small, I didn't have a son yet. I think last time I saw you was my wedding, and or not. I'm not sure, but yeah, Jak Khan with his wife, they have a really amazing consulting company. He's gonna talk about it later at the end of the podcast. But I really just want you to listen to his story. And yeah, Jak, please introduce yourself. Welcome to the show.
Hi. So thank you for having me here. So, kamusta kayong lahat? Mabuhay. Okay, so hi, hello. I'm Jack. Jose Antonio Can, formerly call me Jack for short. Please don't call me kuya. Please don't call me tito or daddy. Lolo. Wag mas lalong wag lolo. Mag-aaway tayo. So how do I introduce myself? Work, then did consulting work, still OD, but now also into gamification and also behavioral profiling stuff. Big fan of games and board games. On to your point, by the way, we can actually play board games online while we're still stuck in this situation. So if you want to do a virtual board game session one time, just let us know.
Sure.
Uh, we've actually run several now successfully, just for fun and a few for clients. Um, yeah, so gaming defines my life. I'm happily married. 10 years married na kami this year.
Oh,
Woo!
congratulations. Time is
10!
so
Praise the
fast.
Lord. Yes, praise the Lord. We have a 6-year-old son. Uh, si Nathan, although we'll talk more about him later on. Yon.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. Nice to hear it. And Jak, you're in this business that is very event based, people based, and I know you love technology in moving forward, except that I don't think everyone was ready for what's happening because of crisis. And it's hard to be positive right now because of everything. And I just want to ask you I'm going to start this question. Just thought about it while you're introducing yourself. What keeps you positive right now? Because as I know you, you've always been very positive, even at stressful times. How have you been able to keep your positivity, or how are you managing it?
Well, I'll be honest na, syempre, when this whole situation happened, no one was prepared for it. No one was really expecting for it to happen or na maging global event pa siya. And you know how it is. The nature of our business is we're consultants. So we consult with clients. We also run programs for clients. So syempre, when COVID happened and then lockdown happened and syempre people have to cut down costs, you would think that the first thing they would cut down are unnecessary expenses like consultants and such. So for the first few weeks, we were kind of bracing ourselves for that. But paano ba? The reality is though, is that thankfully, because we provide human resources consulting to our clients, they realize na, especially now in this time, you really need to have a good people plan because your people are demoralized, your people are stressed, your people are worried about jobs the next day. Some companies had to do some drastic measures na pinabench yung iba. So, take your leaves for now, yung iba, reduce work hours, work pay, anything to survive. So um, they realized they needed us around. So sa awa ng Diyos, we have enough clients who are keeping us around to keep things floating. Plus, in terms of staying positive, simple blessings lang. I have a roof over my head. I have food on the table. I'm with my family. No one is sick. I know I'm in a position that's much better than millions of our fellow Filipinos. So there are people out there who are struggling, who are having a hard time. So I really don't have anything to complain about.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the big picture.
Yes.
That's why it's also about how can we help, how can we give back to the community, how can we help those who are in need. Yeah. So that's what keeps me happy. Siyempre, there's still the fear, there's still the worry, but at the end of the day, be grateful lang you have all these things that a lot of people don't have.
Amazing. And I just want to focus on that meaning, because yes, it's not perfect, but you're good. And maybe can you share a story in your past that was really, really hard, and just share how you dealt with it?
So how I got into consulting. So got married in 2010. I was working at the time in a BPO. My wife was working, my then wife was working in a company. And in 2011, she was assigned a regional role in Singapore. So thankfully, kasama niyang asawa sa relocation package. Basta kasya sa maleta daw. So nagdahit ako ng todo-todo na. Joke lang. So syempre, we both went to Singapore. Unfortunately, the company I was working for at the time, even though meron silang presence in Singapore, because I was a training position and there were no trainers locally in Singapore, there was no open position for me. So I resigned from my job and I focused on the move to get to Singapore. And then when we were in Singapore, we had one of those husband-wife conversations. So anong plano natin for the next 20 years? And we both agreed na eventually we both wanted to be consultants. And we decided that since I was already in Singapore, my wife naman had a good position, was earning enough to cover what we needed. And Singapore is a hub for consulting agencies and regional HQs and stuff. Be a consultant. Long story short, though, it wasn't an easy thing. Paano ba? I'm not a very good long-term planner. My wife is. I'm more day-to-day. She's more long-term. Ika nga, she worries about a retirement fund. Ako, I worry about kung may bigas sa bahay. Alam mo yan?
Yeah.
Ganun kami. Basta may pagkain sa ref, ayan, okay na ako dyan. She's thinking about 20 years down the road. So, because my natural talents and strengths don't fall in that direction, it was kind of hard for me to figure out what to do. Iba kasi, I'm sure you can relate to this. Iba pag sa kumpanya ka eh. Siyempre, you go to the company tells you what to do, you have your performance metrics and everything. But once you're an entrepreneur, ikaw na eh. Di ba? You make your plan, you make your decision, you fail, you succeed, everything's on your shoulders. I don't think I was ready at the time. I don't think both of us were ready at the time. So it was kind of difficult. So it was very challenging on both of us. Also on the marriage, very difficult time. But eventually, and again, I will not pretend and claim that I had some grand business plan that succeeded and that's my secret to success. You know how there are some people na, yeah, kasi ang ganda ng plano ko sa buhay, kaya ganun. I will not pretend to be anything like that. A lot of the stuff that happened to me in my life that's good was just divine intervention, lucky chance, or whatever. I choose to believe divine intervention. So in this case, a former company I used to work with was looking for someone to run a particular set of programs I was certified to run. And they got me on board to do it. Nice. So even though I was in Singapore, I was now flying back to Manila to run these programs and then fly back to Singapore and do it. So that actually justified, that actually made a decent amount of money that kind of justified the, uy, pwede pala tong consulting thing. And then when we went back to Manila in 2013, ayun, there's another struggle. So how do we move on from here? Tried setting up the right business, find the right people. It took basically 5 to 6 years before everything kind of
Wow, that's a long
fell
time.
into place. Yeah. So during that 5 to 6 year period, I was doing freelance work. I became an insurance agent for a year. So that was another difficult period of time. Pero again, kayod lang, just do your best. And again, happy accident na I eventually found the right people. So again, I will not pretend that I had some grand vision or plan to find people. Um, wag na tayo magpanggap. It all just happened to fall into place. So, thank you God for making things happen. And yeah, so now things are a whole lot better.
Wow, thank you. I'm so happy for you. And it was so easy in like it can be very easy for somebody to give up during that season, but you just didn't. And internally or externally, what were the things you were doing to just keep moving forward?
Uh, Number one was, and maybe yes, sige, fine. Maybe part of it I had some grand ambition and plan. Part of it was I really believed in what I wanted to do. And as early as in Singapore, I realized that what I wanted to do was I wanted to provide human resource services to small and medium companies. So the long story of that was one of the first people I wound up doing work for in Singapore was an SME. Typical story, ex-PNG left, put up his own advertising firm, and then he wanted to grow, but he didn't know how to do it. But since he came from PNG, alam niya ang importance ng HR. So he got me on board as a consultant to help him. And I realized, you know what? This guy is not unique. There are so many small and medium business owners out there. Some of them are ex-corporate people. Some are bata pa lang, they became entrepreneurs. But when you're a business owner and you're a small and medium company, um, the reality is you still need a strong HR
Yes.
support system. Okay, but the other reality is you also can't afford to pay a lot for that. So odds are you're a small to medium company, 10, 15, 50, 100 people. Malamang may HR ka, but they're mostly admin people. They'll do SSS, pag-ibig. But when you need things like, competency development, performance management systems, strategic planning, what's our people plan? What structure do we need? What interventions do we need to keep employees engaged and aligned to our values and stuff? That kind of skill is kind of hard to find. In big companies, they're there, but because they can afford to pay X amount of salary. You're small to medium, you can't afford it, right? So we eventually came up with the idea of we can just provide consulting. You don't need me full time. You just pay for a fraction of my time. It's actually, if you actually Google it now, it's actually a thing. It's called fractional CHRO. So fractional Chief of Human Resource Operations. It's actually a thing. There are actually people out there who also provide this kind of service.
Amazing.
So because I really believed in that, that's what was keeping me pushing forward. I know there's a market out there. I know there are companies who need this kind of service to succeed. Plus, again, I'm a strong believer in if you really want the Philippines to get better, you need to strengthen the middle class. And the middle class is exactly where these small and medium companies are.
Yes.
The small boutique advertising firms, the creative agencies, the small BPOs, the small accounting firms, the Ayalas, the SMs, the Gopangways, they have their own, they can afford to hire all the talent they want.
Yes.
It's these guys in the middle who need it. Yeah, and the model has worked. The people we've worked with have proven that they're grateful for what we can give and what we can bring. So because I kept that central to me, I think that also was helping me drive forward from a business sense.
Amazing.
Plus, I'm married to an awesome, supportive, and loving wife.
Uh-huh.
Is she listening? I'm married to a very awesome, supportive, and loving wife. So, you know, on a personal level, I really have no complaints. She brings out the best in me, despite my many problems and whatever. She still keeps me around. So, on a personal level, again, no complaints as well.
Amazing.
And then add that to the fact that now we have Nathan pa. So yeah, so kompleto ng tropa.
So happy for you. What do you feel, or what happens inside you when you see companies or SMEs, your clients, like they're getting better, the people are getting better, they're hitting their mark, when there's a success because of the program you're doing, and there's a tangible and intangible evidence that, hey, yep, we did something right. I mean, how do you feel about it?
So I got certified last year on Clifton Strengths. And one of my top 5 strengths, or actually 2 of my top 5 strengths, are being a relator and a developer. So as a relator, I look forward to building relationships with people, and developer, it's my ability to develop people slowly and incrementally. So these 2 strengths of mine, I'm super happy I have them, and that's why when I see our clients, incrementally getting better over time, the relationship we build with them as we grow, syempre, tuwang-tuwa yung feeling. You also, but you also need to put a reality check. Na, syempre, it's not just you.
Yes.
It's a partnership. You're there to give them advice. You're there to give them suggestions. At the end of the day, it's their decision. So their decision to listen to you, or sometimes even push back and say, you know what, Jack, now's not the time to do this. Okay, that's fine. What other thing can we do instead? So it's really a relationship, right? And it's that working together, that synergy, that really makes me
Wow.
happy and fulfilled.
Amazing. So, I mean, for those of you who are going to receive this message, knowing Jack, and that's why I asked this question, because I know the money is not what, I mean, I know money is important, but you're not there for the money, but mostly because, as I know you, you really care for people. And that's what
Yeah.
really amazing for you. And it's, of course, you money because profit is important and all of those things. But just knowing you throughout the years, I've always seen how money is not what, makes you wake up, but it's really, I don't know if the right term is, making the world smile, or just putting a little bit light.
Well, that's why, just between you and me and the eventual millions of people who will see this, that's why they don't have me price the proposals. Because minsan nagagalit yung ibang partner sa akin. Ba't ang baba nito? Ano ba? Anyway. But yes, so that is one thing I had to learn though along the way. You also need to value the service that you're giving. You need to find that sweet spot between knowing the value that you bring to the client, at the same time the value of, that your time is worth this much.
Yeah.
And you need to be very clear about, look, I know that what I can do will contribute this much to your organization, and I'm only charging this much.
Wow.
If you're gonna lowball me pa and charge lower than that, you know what? It's okay. Let me know when you're ready to talk.
Amazing. Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. And yeah, it's really knowing your worth, even if if you it's so easy to be insecure in terms of there's so many big consulting companies, and parang it's like there is a passion aspect, but at the same time standing up for who you are and all of those things. That's really takes a lot of guts, and
Yeah.
congratulations that you're there, and I'm really amazed. Jack, I have another question that I just, as you were saying, that is that, um, how do you manage, like, as you've been saying about Julina, your wife, She's amazing. She's amazing. She's your business partner. You're doing things together, and now you're stuck at home with her. I mean, you're safe at home with her and with Nathan. She might just kill me. Um,
Okay.
how do you how do you how do you move forward in your career with your wife? How do you move forward with your marriage with your wife? How do you move forward with your family life, with your son, with your wife? So everywhere you guys are together, how do you make it work?
Uh, okay, so brutally honest. So what we've been doing to survive this whole lockdown, ECQ, MECQ, GCQ, banana Q, whatever Q we're in right now. Um, uh, but number one, we for me and Jules anyway, we allow whatever we're feeling to happen. Okay, so for example, at the start, Joss was super worried about our finances, what will happen, ganyan, ganyan. So sige, let her vent it out. Or me, kumbaga, we take turns. Siya muna papanic. So sige, ako muna si calm and rational. Sige, so you're panicking about financials. So let's look at the finances. What are our options in case this happens or this happens, and by when should we do it? So okay, plan na. Then there's a point in time I was kind of feeling, parang wala akong ginawa tong COVID kundi maglaro ng Switch. Alam mo yan? Parang, and yet I see my friends out there posting things like, yes, I was able to provide 1 million PPEs to ganon. I was able to learn 20 languages. I was able to earn a master's degree in COVID. I'm like, wow, these people are productive, and I'm here playing Animal Crossing New Horizons. Best game of all time, by the way. But then again, see, Jules had to remind me, you know what? It's okay. We all go through it. If there's a day when you wake up and you're like, you know what? I just can't deal. It's okay. And we allow each other that. Right? Yeah. So because of that, we're able to take turns, we're able to manage each other. And same thing with Nathan. With Nathan is like he's 6 years old, and we're like, you know what? He wants to play on his tablet the whole day. Fine. Then the following day, you know what, Nathan? Let's watch some educational stuff on YouTube. Okay, cool. So we'll watch it together, and then like, oh, so Nathan, what do you think? So again, just let stuff happen.
Amazing.
At the end of the day, this is something nobody planned for. No one can say, I predicted this would happen, and here's my 30-day plan on how to survive during lockdown. If anyone's telling you stuff like that, it's bleep bleep. Okay? I'll bleep myself out. It's really just find your own way to get through it.
Amazing.
And just be open and honest about what you're thinking and feeling with your partner and with your family, and just adjust to each other.
Amazing. Wow, thank you. Ang galing kasi when I introed you and I was talking about you, I said you're so positive, you're light and all of that. And then you said just a while ago that there was a time during this quarantine that you were not okay. And is it safe to say that no matter how positive you are, it's okay to be in a not okay season?
Yeah.
Can you share more about it?
I remember something Jules mentioned to me before. I hope I'm just paraphrasing, so if I get it wrong, please don't jury, please don't execute me. She said something about along the lines of there's a difference between happiness and joy. Parang in that context, parang happiness is you're happy because of something external.
Yeah.
You see a pretty flower, it makes you happy. Your kid hugs you, it makes you happy. Not necessarily a bad thing. Joy is that internal state where despite whatever happens, there's that strength, there's that sense of resilience and grit inside. Na parang I don't need something exterior to make me feel okay. Right?
Wow.
And I think the challenge is that maybe a lot of people it's difficult for them. It's okay if there are times where I'm unhappy because there's nothing external around me that's triggering my happiness.
Yeah.
Diba? There's nothing to, there's no like, I'm happy because I can go out and see my friends. Not gonna happen. I'm happy because I like having drinking sessions. Not gonna happen. I'm happy because I like physically going to church and being part of a community, for example. Not gonna happen. So if people are not happy because there's no external events to trigger these happiness things, it's okay. We need to focus more on what's your joy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. That is so amazing. Wow. Just really, it's like a retreat. I went through a recollection. Thank you.
Oo nga, nagputi pa ako eh. Should I bring out my cardboard thing and then do my Father Jack impersonation? Yes, I spent 10 years in the cemetery tuloy. Anyway.
Yeah. Wow. And with all of these experiences you've had, moving back and forth, clients, just in all of these things, having a plan, not having a plan, not being prepared, all of those things. Do you have a story or a moment when you just know, hey, everything's gonna be okay, we're gonna succeed at it, we're gonna be good, life is gonna be good? Was there a specific moment when you just had that?
Okay. March of last year.
Oh,
March of last year.
very recent.
No, wait. I will not share that story. That's Jolina's story to share na lang.
Okay.
Mamagalit sa akin. You shared that in public? Anyway, so, a moment for me where I know everything will be okay. Hang on na-stump ako sa question na yan. Feel free to kill all this dead air we're having right now. When you edit this later on, pretend I had something immediately in mind.
The cogs are moving.
Nga eh. Medyo mahina yung gears ngayon. Maganda yung tanong eh. If everything will be okay. Okay. Medyo mababaw story.
Yeah, I mean, there's no wrong answer. It's your story.
Medyo mababaw story, but I think hands-on dads will probably appreciate this. So when we had Nathan, he was just a few months old, and so thankfully we're with the Yaya also to help take care of Nathan. Josh was there also to help take care of Nathan. There was one particular point in time when Nathan was only a few months old, and Yaya went on day off, and Jules was abroad on a business trip.
Oh my God.
So Nathan had to stay with me. Okay? And although I knew in theory how to take care of a kid, okay? And all first-time dads are like nodding their heads. Yep, I've watched the YouTube videos and to do this, right? I read the instruction manual. For some reason, he just wouldn't stop crying. Okay? He just wouldn't stop crying. Iyak lang siya ng iyak. Baka hinanap si Joel, hinanap si Yaya, whatever. Iyak lang siya ng iyak. And I didn't know what to do anymore. I didn't know what to do. I was panicking inside. I was even vibering my friends. My friends who were mommies. Ano gagawin ko? Ayaw niyang tumigil. Am I killing him? Am I doing something bad to him? Until, as in, mangyak-yak na ako. Parang, ano gagawin ko? I'm a lousy father. Oh my gosh. I'm the worst dad in the world. Until eventually it all just played out naturally, and then at one point I found myself lying in bed. Nathan was on top of me, still crying. I was like, ano gagawin ko? I'm the world's worst father. Until eventually, I guess napagod na siya. He just eventually fell quiet and then fell asleep on my chest.
Wow.
And then I realized na, oh, meron palang katapusan ito.
COVID, may katapusan din.
Parang it ends pala, no? Actually, that's a good analogy, no? Parang we're in COVID right now. Everyone's crying. You don't know what to do about it. And that's when I realized na, yeah, this is probably not gonna be the last time this is gonna happen. I'm pretty sure there are gonna be many moments in the future where I'll have moments where, oh my gosh, I'm the world's worst dad, or am I messing this up? And I just don't know what to do anymore. But it all boils down to you just do your best. And,
Wow. Powerful.
And if worse comes to worse and there's really nothing else left to do, you just let it play out. Let the kid get tired from crying and then fall asleep. So yeah. So I think medyo mababaw, but yeah.
Not for me. I think it's really, really strong and powerful. But yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So
wow.
yeah.
Amazing. Wow. Thank you, Jack. That is something I really appreciate. That, yeah, I mean, everything's gonna be okay. Yeah. And I believe it doesn't sometimes need to be even COVID. Maybe people are going through whatever crisis in their life, maybe sickness or just, bad business decision, career decision, financial, whatever it is. It's a season, and yun nga, matatapos din yun eh. Everything's gonna be over in time, and better days are coming. And I just want to thank you for that very, very powerful story of very personal, very vulnerable. Thank you. I myself appreciate it. And yeah, I just have last two questions, and I'm really enjoying this conversation. I miss you guys. I miss Joel and I miss Nathan. I can't wait to introduce my son to him, Gray. And yeah, Jack, for you, with everything that we talked about or who you are as a person, what is abundance for you? Or what is abundance for your life?
I know that if you look at the strict definition of the word, abundance means overflowing. Diba? So I'll wear my black hat and take a contrary position to that. For me, abundance means just having enough. What do I mean? I just have enough with a loving and caring family. I just have enough with the business that we're running. I just have enough with the amount of board games that I have. I'm telling myself mentally, don't buy anymore. For me, abundance is having that sense of I need not ask for more. I think for me, abundance means that sense of satisfaction or self-sufficiency that you don't need to ask for more. Not necessarily overflowing, parang, wow, ang dami kong pera. Wow, ang dami kong, my love tank overflows. For me, abundance is that sense of, you know what? I have enough and I am grateful. I have nothing more to ask for. So, yay team. That's abundance for me.
Wow. Thank you. And yeah, I mean, for me, abundance is not just, your account in the bank or all of those things, but it's a holistic life that you have. It's complete, it's whole, there's joy, there's completion. And yeah, thank you. And before we want to share, before we end, I just want to ask you, what are your dreams right now? The next few years, what are you looking forward to?
I will I will ignore the first few political things I have in my mind and just focus on safe topics. Um, so what do I look forward to in a couple of years? Well, one um, I I look forward. So one thing I am looking forward to is being 100% debt free. Okay, and that may be happening sooner than later. So
Wow.
maybe it's a bit unfair to ask for that, but that's one. Second is the next couple of years, really just seeing what Nathan will grow up into. You know how he's 6 right now, so right now the world is still something to explore, something to discover, kind of figuring out where he is and how he fits into the world. I'm excited to see where he'll end up
Wow.
because I know that as a parent, and I'm sure the parents out there are all nodding their heads as well, na parang, even though you have an idea in your head, gusto ko maging doktor anak ko, gusto ko maging engineer yung anak ko. At the end of the day, even though I may have my own thoughts and ambitions for Nathan, I just need to remind myself, you know what? As long as he's happy, he's healthy, as long as he's contributing to society, as long as he's a good person, um, that's all I really want to see. And whatever he ends up doing, okay lang. Basta he earns enough to take care of me in my old age. Plugging lang yan. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that in the next couple of years. I'm looking forward to seeing what Nathan will grow up into. And eventually also looking forward to, how Joss and I will just continue to grow. Because, we're business partners now. So, mas madali yung, pwede mag-find ng leave, approve. Ikaw, gusto mag-leave? Okay, approve. Okay, okay. Trip! Alam mo, wala nang, oy, Joss, pa-check naman sa office mo kung pwede ka mag-leave. So, yeah, those are the two things I'm looking forward. Actually, no, the third one is, of course, the business. I'm also looking forward to seeing where the business will go, what direction it will take. Yeah, so where Nathan will go, how Joss and I will grow, and how the business will develop. Are the
I
things
love
I'm
it.
really looking
I love it. Thank you so
for.
much. Yeah, and you know what? I declare that they'll come true, and that the favor is upon you guys, and everything will just fall into place. That this struggle will end, that the global struggle and what you guys are doing will just grow. Especially, for example, gamification is something that's parang I already knew in my head that it's gonna happen, but because of everything that's happening, it's just gonna. I believe it's gonna be fast forwarded because people need
Yep.
to learn in a happier state, in a more enjoying state. So I'm really excited to stalk what you guys are doing and find out how you are making progress the next few months and the early few years. And yeah, I mean the cash, I believe everything's gonna fall into place. And thank you, Jack. If anyone who's listening or watching wants to connect with you guys, how and what services do you guys offer, or maybe just want to play board games with you? Yeah.
Yeah, so on a social level, if you are a company and you're looking for ways to deal with working remotely and you want to look for online stuff to keep your teams engaged and whatever, so we can help, online games, online engagements. We can do that. Um, I sometimes I'm lucky right now na meron akong regular game group, but sometimes I would post on like yung mga role-playing game and board game groups on Facebook. Hey, open game, whatever. So if you happen to see me and you wanna hang out and game one time on Discord or whatever, yeah, so we can meet up there. Um, on a professional level, so yeah, so my wife and I, we run Can Do Solutions. Can is spelled Kahn. We are not related to Genghis and Kublai. Although they're cool people, besides being bloodthirsty individuals who killed hundreds of thousands and millions of people. Anyway, so Can Do Solutions. We're on Facebook, or you can just if you're curious about the things we can do, you can reach out to us through our Facebook page, Can Do Solutions, or you can send us an email at ask@cando.com. So ask@cando.com. Yeah, so
Wow.
that's how you can reach out to us. Our website is cando.com as well. You can check out our website to see what stuff we offer as well. So that's there. You can reach out to our Facebook page, you can email, or you can check out our website.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much, Mr. Jose Antonio Khan or Jak Khan. Yeah, thank you so much for being our guest. And just I know a lot of people will really, feel good about this. I feel good about this. And I just want to say goodbye to them. I'll say goodbye to you later, Jack. Thank you everyone for watching or listening or however you're receiving this message. I just hope that you find joy and that the best is yet to come for your life. And no matter what your situation is, abundance is coming, and whatever abundance looks like for you, it's gonna come. So open your mind, open your heart, and just have a great life. Thank you so much, and have a great day.